So here it was, day one of the conference. The line was backed up. We stood in line for probably an hour and a half. Opening ceremonies was supposed to start at 8. People was so slow getting into the gate, they actually postponed the opening ceremonies to 8:30. There was people that we met the first day that didn't even get in the gate until after 10. So it was busy. Here we are, Homesteaders of America conference. Parking lot is packed. Here's a few pictures of the crowd outside the barns and whatnot, just walking through the area. You can see how packed it is. It was extremely busy that day.
A lot of them are family businesses and made in America stuff. Everybody knows Layman's, right? We'll be there on November 13th if you guys want to come see us. Kidron, Ohio. Layman's is a great place. We'll see you guys there. Great superstore for everything homesteading, off-grid, all that stuff. They're really involved in the homesteading life. And, just remember that. You guys got all your brochures and everything. We just don't put that on there for no reason.
Short video clip from day one when we stand in line for the restrooms. The vendor area. You can see how crowded it is. People everywhere. Homesteaders of America conference, day one. Get ready for Eustace Conway. Not a very big crowd inside the big barn, but a fair many. As I was panning the camera around, I missed him walking in, but after we get in and I quit, I saw him standing there, so I got a little bit of him at the end. Eustace with his bodyguard before his speech. His speech was about an hour and a half long.
I think is one of the biggest problems that we have in this country is that we don't see the bigger picture, that we're overly entertained and overly dependent on middlemen, not just 1 or 2 or 2,000, but millions and billions of middlemen that keep you separated from the source of your food, your medicine, your water, and everything else that we partake. But homesteading, natural living, even if you do it for a day, puts you one step closer to like seeing where the eggs come from. Seeing the black snake that comes to eat the eggs, it's one of your competitors for existence. So there's a myriad to that story. But for all of the stuff that we consume, there's middlemen that keep us from seeing it, and so we don't learn about quality of food. We don't know. If you just buy a hamburger, you don't know how many bovine growth hormones went into it. You don't know how many antibiotics went into it. You don't know how many hundreds or thousands of different cows went into the one hamburger. You don't know about the antibiotics that they tried to save the life of that cow before it died and got into your hamburger. It goes on and on and on.
There's a great lady we met several years ago at a show. Her name's Teresa Allen with Peace and Harmony Farms. Extremely knowledgeable on herbs and whatnot. And here we are in the big barn between two shows. We had a great time last weekend.
They're very much worth it. Let's go to number 5. I told you to study in number 4, but don't study too hard. Pay more attention to this one than the study, because I think too many people get an analysis paralysis, and you gotta just do. People say, well, I've got to create a business plan first. No, I've never had a business plan. If you want to create anything, get out a napkin and create a marketing plan. But don't make it too long. Just come up with some ideas and try those ideas before you get too caught up in the studying, and because it might not work. And you don't know until you've tried it. That's one thing I like about Kickstarter. If it didn't work, nobody's cards would have got charged and we would have moved on. So all these things you guys can apply to no matter what you're doing. If you're a content creation business like me, or selling something on the homestead, study. Don't study too hard. Just do. Number 6, face the doubt. This is a big one. You don't feel like you're an authority. You don't feel like you don't know. You don't know everything. You don't know. Well, I'm here to tell you, you don't. I'm also here to tell you, I don't. I'm seeking you guys out, the ones in my member. I had to do this thing with the rabbits, this and that, right? We don't know everything, and that's okay. And you don't have to know everything to be an expert or to know something. If you learn that your chicken eggs can sit on the counter unwashed for 4 weeks and not go bad, you know something. Tell it. You don't have to know everything there is about chickens.
Okay, so as you know by now, last weekend we went to Homesteaders of America conference. We was there in 2019 as well and really enjoyed it. Last year it was canceled, but they did it virtual, so we bought tickets and watched it online last year. Watched all the conference speeches and all the classes and shows and whatnot. It's not the same as being there, but it was pretty decent. They did a good job this year with who they had there. They had I don't know how many talkers they had all together, but they had a fair many speakers. We seen a lot of them. The second day we seen probably more than we did the first. The first day was pretty crowded. It was kind of hectic. It's hard to get into the tents, and even the barn was hard to get into the first day. The second day seemed a little more laid back. But some of the people that we did meet, that whether they had a speech or not, was Jason and Lorraine from Sutherland, which they're really good people. We met them there a few years ago. He had a speech then. He did a talk about his life, which was pretty interesting. This year he didn't do one. He wasn't asked to do one, but he was there, walking around talking to people. Mike Dixon, which he is the Fit Farmer on YouTube, he did a really good talk on why more people should homestead, why more people should grow their own food, to know where it comes from. Hoss Tools did a really great talk on cover crops, which I got a lot of notes on that, and I actually voice recorded that whole Hoss Tools whole thing there last Saturday, so I have it on my iPad, the entire cover crop thing, which is pretty interesting. On the Q&A, they had a bunch of the talkers doing Q&A. They've talked about trees and chickens and this and that and everything else, but all in all, we had a really good time. You know, Eustace Conway's speech was an hour and a half or so long. He did a good job talking. Justin Rhodes did a pretty good thing on marketing and selling your product and whatnot, which I was interested in them. Patty Alderman did a thing on farmers markets, which we do a farmers market, but it never hurts to hear other ideas on things you could do, maybe see or whatnot. But hers was pretty good. It was all right. She didn't really talk about nothing that we didn't already know, and she didn't actually mention anything new to us. There was some things in the state she's from, which I think is Alabama or Mississippi, somewhere down south. They do things a little different than we do, but all in all, pretty much the same thing. The biggest thing I got from there was meeting like-minded people you never seen before and probably never see again. Met a really nice couple from Dallas, Fort Worth area. Can't remember exactly the town they said they were from. Can't remember their last names. I'm not even gonna say what their names were. We met them while we was waiting on Mike Dixon to speak. They were really nice people. We met a few other people, some from all over the place. There were people there from California and Oregon and yeah, all over the U.S., maybe even the world. We didn't see anybody that was outside the U.S., but we learned a lot. There was a lot of good things there if you're into wanting to grow your own food and learn more about taking care of the earth. Personally, I'm not a tree hugger, but I think we need to be good stewards on this planet because it's only here once, so I'll do all I can do to take care of it. So y'all can have your own thoughts on that, however you feel about it, but that's how I feel about it. One thing I did take from it is the cover crops. That to me was the most interesting part of the whole thing, was the cover crops, by far. Like I say, I did voice record it. I may take clips out of it here and there and put in videos in the future, but I'm not sure. I want to learn a little bit more about it before I try to publish it. But think cover crops is definitely the way to go, and I've thought that for a while. I just never really looked into it a whole lot. But so yeah, the main thing is that for me. There was a lot of other things there. We met a lot of good people. Had a good time. It's worth going if you get the chance, maybe in 2021 to go. I don't know, or 2022, sorry. I don't know if they're going to have it in the Warren County Fairgrounds again. I heard talk that it was going to change, but I'm not sure on that. It's something you have to, if you're interested, you have to look into it. But that's where we are with it. So if I met you there, it was nice to meet you. If I didn't, sorry, and you were there, I wished I would have met you, because I'm sure we could have talked about some things that we would have all been interested in. So that's the end of this video. So until we meet again, take care and God bless.